Hello, people of the internet, kings, queens, whatever's in betweens. So, people have been asking a lot of questions about our channel and even correcting some of the lore, so I'm just here to clear things up. This video is just going to be explaining lore, giving some sneak peeks for upcoming episodes, and just answering questions. First, we're going to start with the lore. Since there are so many questions about the Azure and 2-Time reunion video, we'll start with those two. So, someone commented about how Azure's hat actually speaks for him and he has a zipper on his mouth. Now, we kept the zipper part, but Azure can actually speak perfectly fine. He does have some stabbing pain sometimes, but that's just because of the trauma from getting killed. The Spectre basically took over his mind and made him think that he absolutely has to kill 2-Time. In reality, Azure's a little hesitant at trusting 2-Time again, but he wants to repair their relationship because he knows how influential the cult leader is to them. 2-Time is very fearful of Azure. They want to love him again, but they feel so guilty and remorseful that it's almost tearing them apart. They always thought that death was rewarding and calming. When they actually sacrificed themselves to the spawn, it was horrible. They felt so much agony because they kept missing blood vessels, so they died very slowly by bleeding to death. Every time Azure catches 2-Time in rounds, he makes sure it's slow and agonizing, which only adds to 2-Time's fear and pain. Now, speaking of that hot cult leader, Amarah adopted 2-Time when 2-Time's parents died due to illness. Amarah taught 2-Time everything they know and was extremely protective of 2-Time, treating them like his own child. When Azure came into the picture, Amarah was furious. He hated Azure with every fiber of his being. He told 2-Time that the spawn would bless them both if 2-Time killed Azure. 2-Time found out about more of the ritual which old cult leaders created and learned they had to sacrifice themselves to. When Amarah heard about 2-Time's death, he felt so much guilt and regret. He was the reason why 2-Time was dead. The cult found out he lied and basically burned him at the stake as punishment for his crime of murder. That pretty much wraps up Azuretime and Amarah's lore, so now we're going to move on to Chance, iTrapped, Mafioso, and his goons. Chance was the son of the owner of the casino Chance always stayed at. He's also trans and goes by he, they. Chance and Mafioso had an arranged marriage before the goons came into the picture, but Chance refused. He wouldn't sign anything, and it eventually got to the point where his father disowned him. Mafioso wasn't quite bothered and never annoyed Chance about that after that about it. Chance began working as a gambler to make more money, and lucky for him, he was extremely good at it. It soon became an addiction. He won a rigged game against Mafioso, which got the Mafia after him, so he had to go into hiding for a bit. He soon met iTrapped, though, and they became great friends. iTrapped was the only close friend Chance had had for a long time, so naturally Chance developed a crush on him. iTrapped used this to his advantage because he was still trying to get his friends out of the Badlands, which you can look up what that place is because I'm too lazy to explain. One day, iTrapped asked Chance to play some Russian roulette. Knowing iTrapped was a masochist, Chance agreed, feeling excited. Chance, however, won each round, and soon iTrapped and Chance were the last two standing. They walked out of the casino, Chance feeling adrenaline pumping through his blood, while iTrapped was annoyed and furious. iTrapped took Chance deep into the snowy woods. Chance felt nervous, thinking iTrapped was going to confess to him or something. However, Chance soon felt that sharp stabbing pain. He looked down to see the dark heart stabbing through his stomach. iTrapped twisted the sword and pulled it out. Chance collapsed to the ground and felt tears well in his eyes from the betrayal. iTrapped stole the key from Chance's neck and walked away, feeling satisfied. Meanwhile, Mafioso didn't know Chance was dead yet. The goons came into his life and he got attached. He treated them as though they were his idiot children, while also keeping up with his job and collecting debts. He also inherited Chance's father's business and was about to marry Yunoya when he was assassinated by an enemy of his. He had to watch as his goons died one by one. Consigliere was stabbed through the skull, Contractee was strangled, Soldier was beaten to death, and Kaporjim was shot over and over again. That's all for those three, so now we move on to Taph, Shedletsky, or Telamon, 1X and 2X. Taph was adopted by Telamon and is the youngest out of the siblings. 1X was created through science by Telamon and is the middle sibling, and 2X was also adopted by Telamon and is the oldest. 2X went missing and her body was never found. 1X went out with Telamon for flying lessons, and Telamon clipped their wings before pushing them off the cliff, killing them. Taph was terrified and ran away. An incident happened at some point which caused Taph to become a mute. He was found by Builderman, and Builderman raised him, teaching him how to build things. Taph soon made the subspace mine and helped get rid of houses by blowing them up. Robloxians were angered, however, so out of fear, Taph tripwired his house, but soon died to his own explosives. 1X hates Shedletsky with a burning passion. 2X isn't sure how to feel. Taph just dislikes him. Ooh, I dropped it! Oh! Where was I? Then we have Brighteyes. Her and Telamon dated for a while, but after learning what Telamon did to 1X, because she helped raise all three of them and was a mother figure, she broke up with him immediately and told Builderman everything. Builderman got rid of his demigod powers with a device, punishing him by turning him into a mortal. Shedletsky soon died to suicide because of how depressed he was as a mortal. Now, there's more lore for each character, but those are the ones I'm explaining in this video. If you want to see a part 2, by all means get this video popular. I want to see at least 10,000 views before I do a part 2, so send this to your friends, I don't know. Now for sneak peeks. I'm not going to say much, but if you like death and angst, be prepared. A character that's not too popular ends up dying, and it causes a whole string of events. There's also something with John Doe that I won't explain, you'll just have to see it for yourself. Now, our last topic, questions. For safety reasons, I'm just going to read them out without saying the username. First question, why was Elsa, iTrapped, freaky in that video? Well, I don't actually know, because I wasn't the voice actor for iTrapped, and we were improvising the whole thing. So I'm just going to pull out the voice actor that was playing iTrapped at the time. Oh, midnight!
Yeah, I thought iTrapped was freaky because I thought it'd be funny if he was like a masochist or something.
Can you make drama lore with 2Time and Azure and make them have a fight? There's definitely going to be a lot of angsty bits with those two, but I don't think they'll ever physically fight until a video that's coming out soon. And even then, they don't actually really fight. Another sneak peek, it's just 2Time running for their life. Absolutely terrified. But again, that'll probably only be the real fight that happens just because Azure values communication and loves 2Time endlessly. Question in the end of the 2Time and Azure reunion. Did Azure kill 2Time? Now, this question is asked a lot, so I'm just going to be blunt. Azure used one of his tentacles, wrapped it around 2Time's throat, and ripped their head clean off. Like a cork. Anyways, next question. Why does Timu Elsa, I'm loving these nicknames for iTrapped, not have his crown in the vid? That's a good question. I actually had to go back to the video to look at it because I didn't realize while we were recording that he didn't have his crown. I'm pretty sure it was just the model we used for iTrapped. We use these Valentine's Day models just for shits and giggles, so yeah, that's all the questions I received so far. If you have any more that you want to ask me, just comment them in the post that's still up. If there are any more questions, I'll likely answer them in part 2. And that's going to wrap up for today's video. If you want to see more stuff with the actual voice actors, by all means let us know. Thank you all for the support. Bye-bye!